Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this July 16th? Is I believe July 16th. And of course, it's summertime in Texas, but we have got a cold front coming in Thursday. It's going to bring some rain, supposed to bring some rain, but the main thing it's supposed to do is knock the temperatures down into like the lower 90s. That for us, that's quite a cool day to be in the low 90s. And I think later in next week, they're even talking about a few days in the upper 80s, which is just would be paradise for this part of Texas during this time of the summer. And every day starting Thursday has a chance for some rain, scattered showers. And we've been needing the rain. We've been really dry. After going to what we went through in May, the rainiest month ever, to now, it's just been nothing. And it's real dry, and the ground's starting to crack, and of course it's hot, and yeah. So we can use the rain. And from what I'm understanding, it's not supposed to be anything severe. Maybe some gusty winds, but nothing really bad. But just rain, hopefully rain. And cooler temperatures, which will be the best part about it. Okay, I'm going to add, first of all, my sister Kathy.
Hello.
Hello. And we've also got an Eye for Horror joining us. And we haven't seen Jake in a while.
Hey, hi, Jake.
Hey, Kathy. Hey, Jay.
I really enjoyed that last interview you posted.
Oh, thanks.
And also, Jake on his channel has done he's talking about Pumpkinhead, Stan Winston's Pumpkinhead. I think that's your latest video, isn't it, Jake?
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah. And great horror movie, great creature, Pumpkinhead. Of course, created by Stan Winston, and he also directed the film. So, okay, what do we got to talk about? Well, something happened a few days ago that was pretty damn scary. No matter what side of the fence you're on politically, and I'm not going to get into that, what happened the other day is scary shit. And something like that can only have a domino effect. And of course, when something like that happens, they're going to say, well, there's going to be groups of people that say, well, it's somebody from Biden's side that's caused this. This is all a conspiracy or a plan to take Trump out or whatever. Now, of course, not everybody's saying that, but there are groups of people that are saying that. And it's just scary no matter, like I say, no matter whose side you're on politically, it's just scary for something like that to happen. And it was a kid, 19-year-old kid, I don't know if they've really got into what his motives were. I think they found some bomb-making material at his home, that sort of thing.
Last time I heard, they still didn't know why he wanted to do it.
Yeah. A kid, 19-year-old kid. Of course, they killed him, and a person was killed. A person was shot in the head.
That's what's so sad.
Yeah. And, there was a few people that were injured. Of course, Trump himself got clipped in the ear. But he's okay. And like I say, I'm not going to get into my feelings about Donald Trump. I have before. I'm not going to do it tonight. But it doesn't matter whose side you're on. This kind of thing is scary, and we don't want nothing like this going on.
No.
And yeah, like I said,
there's so little respect for the president. And he was a former president. People got to remember that. And he might be our future president, which I think I'm okay with, But
I'm at the point now where I've accepted that that's probably what's going to happen.
Well, yeah. So my attitude about the whole thing is somebody somewhere needs to start teaching respect for the position of president. When I was little, coming up, The president was a big deal. You respected his authority. I was taught you respect the office that he holds because it's a lot on his shoulders, right? And it was when Trump was in there. And if he comes back, it's going to be a lot on him, you know? But people anymore have so little respect for people in power. And I think that needs to change. I don't know if y'all need to start teaching kindergarten up, you know? But something needs to give because that's just unacceptable.
Well, yeah, and also when, like I say, when innocent people are hurt, and there was a man killed, who shot, was hit in the head.
Innocent bystander.
Yeah, innocent, just there at the Trump rally. Yeah, and of course, I'm 58, so I've lived through. I was alive when Robert Kennedy was assassinated. I was like 3 years old. So I think I had some very vague memories of it being talked about on television, on the news, when Robert Kennedy was killed. And of course, Ronald Reagan, the attempt on Ronald Reagan. So, and of course, Kathy, you were alive when Kennedy was assassinated.
Yeah, I remember it well. I was in kindergarten. No, I was in the first grade because I'd already moved over to Ross Elementary. And I remember that cafeteria ladies came to the room because all the teachers were called into the front office. And I thought, well, what's going on there? And we were having drills in case of a nuclear war, y'all, where we had to get under our desk and put our hands over our head. Now, honey,
duck and cover.
That might have been more kiss you, honey, goodbye, because that wasn't going to do us much good. But they mandated them drills. We did them. And then the teacher come back in the room, and she was crying. Now, teachers back then, they held authority. You respected them. You listened to them. You minded them, and you used your manners, right? And you didn't ever see a teacher cry. You see a lot of them laughing, but you didn't see very many crying. So it scared us. All of us got really, really quiet. And the teacher said, okay, I want everybody to be quiet. This is very serious. President of the United States, John F. Kennedy's been shot and killed in Dallas. And we were so little, y'all. We didn't know whether to cry or start asking a bunch of questions. So what do? We got stone cold quiet. And then if anybody wants to go call their parents to see if they can pick them up now, they can. Well, no.
This is, now how you pronounce it? Naloki? Hi, guys. When they took the Pledge of Allegiance out of schools, we should have known we were in trouble.
Yeah, boy, we had it every morning. You can believe it. You stood up, you put your hand over your heart, and if you didn't know the pledge, you quiet till you learned it.
You pointed to the speaker. There was a speaker in the corner of the room, and it was our principal recited the pledge. And
there was a flag under that speaker.
Yeah, and a flag, under the speaker.
Yeah, that's what you're pledging to. Sure does. I'm just saying, the respect for the authority figures has gone down the tubes in a lot of areas.
Jake, like I say, we'll certainly change the subject here soon. But Jake, what do you think about all this? About what happened? Just did you talk to your mother about it or whatever? When this happened.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. That's what I can say.
I don't blame you. It leaves a lot of people speechless. How can something like that happen? And I don't understand. I'm telling you, some Secret Service has probably rolled after that.
Well, also it shows is on the ball that the Secret Service is supposed to be. They wasn't prepared for this.
No, this was a sniper.
Yeah.
What, a few streets away?
Yeah, well, he was on top of the building.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I think there were some people that actually had seen him before he fired, and was hollering or saying something. Is what I'm hearing. Then of course, once the gunshot started, now they were fast, at attention, and got the job done. They shot him, they killed him. Um, but okay, yeah, we'll change the subject there. But yeah, that's just it's a scary time we're living in. It's a divisive time we're living in, where it's just almost like the country is just like split in half. And we should be united as a nation, not divided. Uh, and it feels like we're divided, where it's like one side and then the other, and it's
Yeah, it is.
yeah. So, but yeah, let's cheer up here. And I'm probably not going to get anything for Prime Day, but Jake, how about you?
Uh, no, probably not.
Uh,
I
it,
it started today,
yeah, it started
right?
today. I've looked at a few things, but I've been getting so much stuff from Timu that it's kind of like, that's pretty much my Prime Day money's been spent on Timu. So, uh,
Well, I bought toilet paper and got a discount on it from Amazon.
Ooh.
Hey, we gotta have it.
what I got, and I've got a Keurig coffee maker, and it's 72 pods for $24, and it's the McDonald's coffee.
Oh yeah, the McCafe.
Cool.
And there's 12 per box, and it's 6 boxes.
That's cool.
So, and for $24. And I don't really know if it was part of the Prime deal or not, but anyway, that's really cheap for coffee because, to have a month's plus worth of coffee for $24. So,
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I use instant Folgers in my cup with Cremora creamer and Splenda. Okay. And I could make a pot of coffee. I've got the coffee. I've got the coffee pot, just a little, 4-cup one, electric you plug in. But I enjoy my instant Folgers, so I don't need that. I never have wanted a Keurig. I've just, it's not something I wanted.
I like it because of the convenience of it, because it makes it real fast, and you don't have to measure the coffee out and all. Because if you use instant coffee, then
Yeah, spoon and a half will do it.
that's just as easy, if not easier. But no, I like it, and it's good, strong coffee made that way.
Yeah.
And no, I really like it. But lately, I've been drinking. I make it before I go to bed. I make 2 pods, so I make enough to fill my big, mug thing. And in the morning, I put it over ice, and I have iced coffee. Because this time of year, I really like iced coffee.
Yeah, I do too. Hey, Jake, do you drink coffee?
Oh yeah, Folgers, Black Silk.
Oh, Black Silk. I've tried that. I like their medium roast. The darker roast like that, it's just a little too much for me. But I medium roast. If I go to Starbucks and I want just their coffee, I don't need you to put in whipped cream. I don't need you to pay off my mortgage. I don't need. I like vanilla. That'd be good. I usually get an iced vanilla latte grandes when I go, but I will go in there sometimes, and I don't go hardly ever, but anymore. But when I go, I'd ask for, can I just get your medium roast coffee and some non-fat creamer in it? And then I put my own sweetener in it, but oh man, that sounds good. Do you drink more than 1 cup a day?
Yeah, a few cups with half and half, and like you, Splenda.
Half and half. Ooh. Yeah.
I use skim milk and a couple of what is it? Hang on, I forget it. It's like a Splenda. I don't think it's Splenda. I forget what it's called, but it's a couple of sweeteners, and some skim milk, and yeah.
Yeah, two's not near enough for me. I got 4 Splenda in my cup.
Now I like just a little sweetness, but I
No,
want to have
I want to taste that stuff.
I want to taste the coffee. So
Now, how about sweet tea, you guys? How about
Oh yes, thank you kindly.
I did, but I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to make me some right now. So I'll be right back.
Okay, well, I will tell Jake how I make sweet. Now, here's the deal. When we were growing up, Mama would boil the tea bags, pour them in the pitcher. We'd add it per, a good sized pitcher, not them great big ones you see, but, a decent sized plastic pitcher with a lid. 1 cup of sugar in that thing.
Oh, no.
And my dad used to tell it, he'd get so mad sometimes he'd go and fix him a glass of tea after dinner. We all drank our tea like that. So, I mean, I don't do that now. I boil my tea bags. No, I don't boil them. I fill up my pitcher. I clip on with the little clip 9 tea bags, the little black tea, into my pitcher and let it seep. And when it looks like it's pretty decently dark, then I bring out the tea bags, put it in the refrigerator, let it cool down. But my daughter got me an ice maker. And so I make me a full glass of ice, and I pour a little bit of that warm tea on it, and then a little bit of water in it, cold water. And I will put usually these plastic cups about this big. It's over 20 ounces. 5 Splendas. And that's how I do it.
Well,
Sounds good.
Jake, Jake out here in Texas, growing up, you drank more sweet tea than you did water.
Yeah.
We
Sure
always had a big pitcher of sweet tea in the fridge.
That's what I was telling him. And we put a cup of sugar in that tea.
Yeah. And that was sweet. That was sweet. You could stand a spoon up in that tea. That was sweet tea.
And Daddy would get so mad because people would pour him a glass right out of the refrigerator and spill some tea on the floor. And Daddy said, listen, if you don't slow down, you'll simmer it right to the floor with that sugar. Y'all clean up your spills. So
yeah, if you spilled tea like on the floor and you left it, if you walk barefoot,
yeah, sticky.
Yeah.
It's nasty,
Oh yeah.
I remember so clearly, and it was me and my friend Barry. Barry was spending the night, and we had those old. And I want to talk about this. You got a damn ice maker. Tell me about that. But let me tell this story first. Okay, we had these ice cube trays, and what they were metal, and they had these handles that you pulled up to break up the ice, And they were old ice cubes, and they were metal. They were aluminum, I think.
Yeah, there's aluminum, and they're about this big. I mean, they were decent sized ice cubes.
And they had a handle in it that you pulled up, and it would break the ice up, to take the ice cubes out. But anyway, me and Barry we were up late and messing around, a couple of teenage kids. And so what we did is we got some sweet tea and poured it in the ice cube trays. And I don't know what I did. I did something and I spilled that shit all over the floor. I mean, like a good, big cupful, just spilled all over the floor.
Oh no.
And, I got a damn mop and tried to mop it up or something like that, But the next morning, it was just like walking on flypaper. It just, and Daddy was sitting there in his boxer shorts, nothing else. What do you do? You think I'm naked? My dad would come home and everything would come off except for his boxer briefs, or not boxer briefs, just briefs, boxers. Anyway, he was sitting there drinking his coffee in the morning, and he said, and I come in there. I come in from my bedroom, and he said, "Hey, son, I see you spilled a little bit on the floor there last night." And then he just real calmly says, "I'll tell you what you need to do, son. If you're going to do this, do it right. After you spill the tea, get you a cup of sugar out of the cupboard and dust it on the floor. Maybe get a cup of flour and dust that on top of it. You know, if you're gonna do it right. You just kind of half-assing it here. And just so calmly. And of course, he was being sarcastic. He was telling me,
If you're going to make a mess, make a good mess.
make a mess, son. Let me tell you how to do it right. You need to dust some sugar on top of it after you spill it. But yeah, sweet tea was our, like I say, we drank more sweet tea than we drank actual water. That's what you had with your supper. And sitting watching TV, you had your glass of ice, sweet tea
during the day.
Yeah,
just drink your tea. I drink a lot. That's tea right there. But what I want to know is, Jake, what'd you have for dinner or supper, whatever you call it?
Chinese.
Oh, that sounds good.
Tell us about that.
I love that sweet and sour chicken.
Mm.
I love the sweet and sour, sauce.
Oh yeah.
And I always I don't get the fried rice. I get the white rice, and then I pour a little bit of that sweet and sour sauce on that rice. And then and then I get the sweet and sour chicken with the broccoli, right? It sounds so good. When I'm sick, I crave egg drop soup. I don't usually get it, but that's one thing. I've been really sick the last few days. Yesterday was the first day I felt human, and I got out, went and got my hair cut. Oh, Melissa just sent me a message, and she says, "We like your hair." Thank you, Melissa. It's really, 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 really short.
And you got some bangs going on.
Yeah, I'm still messing with them. It takes a while for when you get your hair cut for your hair to get trained, because I didn't wear bangs for quite a while, so they still want to do their own thing. I don't care. That's okay. Go ahead.
You and Jake almost kind of got a similar thing going on hair wise.
Yeah, mine's all layered up, y'all. It's not meant to look.
Ain't got nothing.
Cool, or however you say it. It's not supposed to meant to be looking uniform. That's the deal, because it's not at all. But she did what I wanted her to do, and so I was happy. So I rarely do this, but I cleaned out my freezer of all things, after I tell you about the freezer, Jay, I'll make a pit stop and then I'll come back and tell you about that ice maker. But anyway, I cleaned out my freezer today, wiped it all down, and I had spilt some water in it. So there's still frozen water in the bottom. But other than that, it's why I wiped it out pretty good, And so, because I love to, in the morning, the best thing I want is everything bagel and cream cheese. So I get those everything bagels at the food pantry and I freeze them. So it'll get me out one. And it depends on my blood sugar whether I can have it or not. If my blood sugar is over a certain amount, I can't have one. But on days I could. I just ate the last one yesterday. But anyway. So as I cleaned out the freezer, I said, whoa. I had one of those freezer bags you put in the microwave of squash, green and yellow squash, zucchini squash. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I put it in front of the freezer when I was done. And then I found my tilapia. I had some frozen farm-raised tilapia, And so I got me a couple of those out and put them in the refrigerator to start thawing out. This is early this morning, right? But so I baked that tilapia, but what I do is I put mild salsa on it before I put it in the oven. And then it's so good because it soaks up just enough to give it a good overall flavor. And then, it's mainly sitting on top. What I want is, we used to find at the grocery store mango pico de gallo. And that was so good. And that's excellent to put on fish. but I couldn't find none. Jay, have you eaten anything for dinner?
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what it was. What I
It ain't been that long, honey. Let's get you checked.
yeah. Well, I had a bowl of at Tim and Melissa's. I had a bowl of soup that Tim had made with like steak or hamburger meat or something like that in it, and it was good. I had a bowl of
Yeah.
that. And but I had something before that, and I can't remember what it was. Oh! I went to Walmart with Tim this morning, and I got some frozen dinners and frozen things and things like that. But I got kind of like Hot Pockets, but like the store brand of Hot Pockets.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's a pepperoni and cheese, kind of a pizza Hot Pocket. And I had one of those for lunch, and I had another one here about an hour ago.
Cool.
So,
Sounds good.
Yep. Well, Jake, what's your favorite food to eat?
Maybe pizza.
Now, do you just want pepperoni and cheese, or do you want other stuff on it?
I like mushrooms a lot and sausage and yeah.
That sounds good.
yeah,
Do
I
you
like
do,
mushrooms.
do you do black olives?
Actually, yeah, and sometimes peppers.
Yeah. I can't handle jalapeno,
No.
but I like banana peppers because they're sweet, And so I will order a Supreme. We have a chain here called Papa John's. I don't know if it's national or not, but they will let you build your own pizza, right?
Right.
And I follow their rewards program. So, sorry, I got a lot. I don't need it, but I need to charge it. But anyway, so then that's what I do, Jake. I start building that pizza. Jay, but my favorite's Supreme. I want everything on it.
I
But
like sweet. I'll tell you what I did when I was at the hotel. The second, what was the first time? The second time? I think it might have been the second night. I went to, I walked over to Pizza because it's right by Pizza Hut, and they got something now called the Hut Box, and you get a small, like a personal pizza, and you get 4 wings, chicken wings, and I got that. And what I got was pepperoni and ham. We used to call it Canadian bacon back in the day. But it's like ham, and you get a 2 topping. So I got pepperoni and ham and 4 wings, and it was like, Italian Parmesan or something like that. The wing flavor, I forget what the wing flavor was, but it was good. And it was like $6, what they call a Hut Box, so you get a little pizza, a little personal pizza, and 4 wings. So. And it was good. It filled me up.
about 4 pieces pizza.
There's 4 wings and a one of them personal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Isn't that about 4 little pieces of pizza?
About 4 pieces. Yeah.
April, back in the day, when she was in school, elementary school, she used to she was in the Book It program. You read so many books. Remember that, Jake? Did y'all do it?
Dude, Kathy.
Yeah. And you get a coupon to go to Pizza Hut and get a personal pan pizza free. And so she already at 6 was reading. We had to be careful what we left laying around because she read everything. She might not understand everything, but that child loved to read. So the teachers would tell us, we just let them read. Do you? No, we let her read. She'll do her work so fast, we just let her read. So if she says, all I did in class today was read, well, a good majority of it she did. So I was real proud of that, my little brainiac child, April. Melissa, I remember Ooh, Melissa said she likes jalapenos and pepperoni.
You don't do the jalapeno.
Nope, don't do jalapenos. Now, every now and then, I don't know why I'm getting her pops up. Jay, it's not showing up on your stream, but I'm getting them. I guess she's just talking to me. But
No.
anyway, she likes me. And I don't know her. She's your friend, but I think her and Tim are good people. But they're really good to you about carrying you around. It's better than being stranded all the time, or most of the time. I understand that. I don't have a car. But anyway, I was thinking the other day about the Book It Club, they called it back in the day. I said, I'd tease her every time she'd go get one. I'd say, "You gonna eat all that?" She, "Yes, ma'am, probably." If you got any leftovers, I will take good care of them. She said, "No, you want you to eat them." I said, "Yeah."
Okay, well, and then I have a subject, but first let's talk about the ice cube or ice maker.
Oh, you want to hear about that ice maker?
But I want one. Shit.
Oh, I love my ice maker. Okay. I think April spent 60-ish to $70 for it. She got it through Amazon. And I didn't know she was going to order it just out of the blue. She sent me a message. "Mom, tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow afternoon, you're going to receive a package. It's important that you're home." And I come and go, but I don't go a lot. So I said, "Well, yeah, baby, I wasn't planning on going nowhere." And it was this ice maker. Oh, my Lord, y'all. See, I was fighting 4 ice trays that me and the granddaughter picked out when I first moved in here in December. So I've had this ice maker 2 months now, about 2 months. And I bought me some gallon bags, freezer bags, and it makes up a certain amount. I pour it in there. I make sure there's water level. There's a water level in it you got to watch. Pour a little extra water in it, turn it back on, go about my business, go in there.
It's something that you pour water in and plug in, and it makes ice.
That's it. Absolutely.
What does the ice look like?
Look, I almost was being a smart honey, but I don't want to do that. This is this is the end of one.
Huh.
But it's twice as big as this. So they're not that big. Now, these are the small size. You can make bigger ones, but I like this size. So I just do this size. I've been drinking on this when I was eating my fish and my dinner, in other words. So,
well, maybe I should check Prime Day and see if they got one on sale.
I love my ice maker. Let me tell you what. My daughter said, "Mom, I knew you'd miss our refrigerator ice maker when you moved out." And Nana, she knows Nana loves her some ice. So she hooked her mama up. Thank you, April.
Okay, well now, and Jake didn't take part in our music shows because you were sick on the last one.
Yeah, I was sick. I'm really
by
sick.
myself. I hated doing it by myself, but I did it.
You did good.
And but Jake, what kind of music did you listen to growing up, and what name some bands or kind of music that you like?
Okay, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. I love the song Barbie Girl. Actually, I still like that song.
I think that's cute. And no, it's cute. I'm a Barbie girl. That one in a Barbie world.
But I like the soundtracks too. But
yeah.
Well, I showed several, vinyl soundtracks. Of course, that was a big deal with me growing, particularly in my teen years, particularly during the '80s. I was real big on soundtracks, and I had a ton of them. I still have quite a few, but I sold a bunch of them. But But yeah, just wondered, just sort of the style of music you like. Would you just like rock and roll, or just is there any solo artist in particular that you could mention that you really like?
Um,
I don't want to put you on the spot, but
yeah. So, Enrique Iglesias. I still like him.
I like Enrique as well. Woo! And his son can sing like daddy.
is that Julio?
Yeah,
Now,
right.
is Julio
That's his
related?
son, right?
Yeah,
Enrique.
sure. I think so.
So
Julio.
Julio's the father and Enrique's the son?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And they both can sing like birds. Well, I don't know if you know anything about Tejano music, but I like Prince Royce. And I got to see him at the Cotton Bowl Stadium. A little over 11 years ago. My daughter was pregnant and didn't know it, and she was actually media interviewing, and she had a camera that they provided, and she's filming, and she's got backstage, front stage pass, and all that. And me and her husband and her went up there because it's about 3 hours from our front door to Dallas, where this was, right? Well, I went because I wanted to see Snoop Dogg. And he was a big time boy, and it was 100 and 500 degrees outside, hot. Oh, it was hot. But I said it was great. So we kept something cold in our hand. I don't drink alcohol, neither does Darren, but son-in-law. So we're up in the stands and watching the stage. There was several there. It was a big festival, but those are the two that I remember the most: Prince Royce and Snoop. D double G.
He started off as Snoop Doggy Dogg, and then he just became Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, he just shortened it, But so I had some irritation today. You want to hear about it?
Uh-huh.
I'm usually pretty happy, y'all. Really, I am.
I actually watched your video about that.
Oh yeah?
That you were invited to tag along for Walmart, but you had plans, and you asked. Of course, I'm telling your story. It's your story. But,
No, go ahead.
But you asked, so when are you leaving? Right now? And you're like, well, motherfucker. That's not the way you ask somebody out. You give them some leave, you give them some time to prepare. Or something.
What if I had to go to the bathroom?
Yeah. It said, you want to go to Walmart?
Well, come on, I'm leaving. As my daddy used to say, this train's about to pull out, and you can join or not. Dang, Daddy, give a girl some heads up, But so what's so funny about it is she had called 2 or 3 other people and couldn't get nobody to go with her. Now she uses a walker, but she's got her own little car and she drives wherever she wants to go in the little city that we live in. And so I know she don't necessarily need me, and I don't want to be needed like that, only because I can't let somebody over 100 pounds pull against me. If she's starting to fall and she grabs my arm, I'm in bed for about a month. So I can't, I just, you know what I mean? I can't help somebody when I just barely take care of myself. Well, oh no, this is the funniest part of that. So anyway, I did a little rant and I put it on Facebook because I don't care that I was 3rd, 4th, 500th that she asked to go with her. I don't care about that. I mean, I like the woman, but I don't like her that much where she's going to hurt my feelings. I don't let nobody hurt my feelings, But come home over here the other day and she said, she rings my doorbell, which makes me jump every friggin' time. But she rings my doorbell and I had a upper respiratory infection, right? Sinus. And when I have those, I have all the medicines I need, but antibiotic. If I get to where I need an antibiotic, I've got to go in the hospital because they put an IV in my arm, right? So I was doing it. I had laryngitis so bad I couldn't speak. I live with a rare lung condition. So I had my oxygen on, keeping that going. And I was so congested, I wasn't much above a whisper, right? And so she knocks on the door. Kathy, I washed a load of clothes. Can you help me hang them out in the backyard? I said, no. And I shut the door back and locked it. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. But not really sorry. Don't ask me to drive you to any airport, even if I had a car. Don't ask don't ask me to hang out a big load of clothes. Because she wouldn't even get off the porch trust to get out in the yard and do that. Don't ask me to do that, which we got nice places to hang clothes, but we can't have dryers because of fire hazard. But that's okay. And don't ask me when I sit down with my plate of food to eat, can I have some of that out of your plate? No. Are you kidding me? I keep a fork beside my plate if there's people around, even if I don't need to eat with a fork, because I will stab somebody in the hand. I would just do it, So anyway, yeah. So she come back about an hour and a half ago. Kathy, I really did. I didn't go earlier. Can you go to HEB, which is our other grocery chain here in Texas? Jake, can you go? I got $120 still left on my card. I get $23 a month. She gets $200 or $300. And she said, I need to go over there. Would you go with me? I said, no, I got to eat. I was eating my plate of food. That looks good. I'm thinking back. Anyway, she didn't ask for none. She just wanted me to go to the grocery store. Now, y'all, nice enough woman, but how many times do you have to say no to somebody? No, I was coloring this rabbit in this kid's coloring book, and I can't leave it half uncolored. Have you lost your mind?
Well, speaking of the music you were talking about, look up Emilio Navarro.
Yes.
Great. I've heard of that. I've heard of him.
I've heard Emilio as well.
Tejano. Tejano. Okay, thank you, Tejano.
Thank you. I can do a little salsa, but not a whole lot because I got a bad back. I can salsa, and then I'm about after a few good steps, I'm about done.
Well, well, because you weren't able to be on the third music show, so we'll talk about some of your music choices here in a minute, Kathy. But let me ask Jake, and I'll tell you what I've been watching. But what have you been watching movie-wise?
Nothing new, just a lot of Friday the 13th since the summer, and
yeah,
I'm actually watching Austin Powers right now.
I love Austin Powers.
I watched all three of those like about 6 months ago. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll tell you what I watched a couple of days ago, and I think it was on Tubi, Freaks. And this was made in the late 30s, I think. It was the guy that directed Frankenstein, the original Frankenstein movie. I think he directed it. Of course, it's not PC to call anybody a freak, but that's what the movie is called, Freaks. And it's dwarfs, and back then what they would call pinheads, which you were just like, little bald-headed, girls, mainly girls, that, slow-witted, I guess you would say. like children. They're adults, but they're basically like children.
Yeah.
And you had a guy that has no arms or legs, and he rolls a cigarette. Shows how he rolls. He roll a cigarette, smoke a cigarette, and then light a match. With his mouth, everything with his mouth. He has no arms or legs. But anyway, Jake, have you ever seen that, Freaks?
I've heard about it, but no. Actually, I think I've seen a preview of it on a show or something. But yeah.
Well, I think it's on Tubi, but you watch it. I want you to watch it, and then I want to discuss it with you after you watch it.
Okay.
Because I think it's a classic, and it gets really creepy like midway through it. It's really well done, and it's all real people, real I'll call them freaks because the movie calls them freaks. But you had these two dwarfs, a man and woman, but they're all, they just look like little people. They're proportioned. They don't have the little fat hands, the little fat fingers, the little legs. They look like just normal people, but they're just little bitty people, real short people. And the girl I always thought was just the cutest thing in the world. I was just in love with that girl in Freaks. Just so cute, and she's got the cute little voice, and I just fell in love with that girl in Freaks. And she's an adult, but she looks like a little bitty girl. But I just thought she's just the sweetest thing in the world, the girl in Freaks. But anyway, Jake, look it up and watch Freaks. I think it's on Tubi, and it's where I watched it.
Okay.
But if you've never seen it, that's one I highly recommend that you add that to your list. Because you being a horror movie fan, because I don't really know if I would call it a horror movie, but I would say like the second half of the movie becomes a horror movie. And it's really well done and really creepy, dealing with real people, with this condition. And, it takes place at a sideshow, at circus.
I remember when you could go to sideshows at the fairs and see different people,
Well, and what they called them was little people. And then there's a little tent. And you could hear the guy, the carnival barker, on a speaker, little people. And he would talk about, come see the little people.
Yeah.
Me and Barry would go, and we always loved to go watch the little people. And they put on boxing gloves and box, and they had a girl that had like a little ballerina costume, and she'd do little, pirouettes, a little dance, and just little people, Well, in this PC world, it's like, well, they can't do that anymore. I was like, well, they were making their living. So what are the poor little people are doing now?
Yeah.
They were making money. They were, that's how they made their living. Little people. But yeah, Jake, look up, watch Freaks, and I want to talk to you later about it after you've seen it. So,
I watched Crazies the other day.
I don't know if I've seen that. Jake,
Melissa said it's a series. Ain't it Freaks?
ain't it Freaks?
That's what she said.
Huh?
Yeah. There's a series of them apparently.
Yeah.
She's popping. I mean, I love that she's engaged. Thank you, Melissa. But she's popping up on my screen, as a pop-up. And I'm like, that's Melissa.
She's sending you private messages.
Yeah, DMing me, which I think is cool. Thank you. Makes me feel cared about.
Okay.
I actually heard she might have sent me something, so hang on. Anyway, yeah.
Can't hang on no more. It's too hard.
Okay, hang on.
I always feel
we like cat figure and good cut, she says. Yeah.
oh yeah. She's asking me about my new YouTube channel.
That's right.
But so Jake, you're mainly watching kind of what we did on your channel. You're watching the summer film.
Yeah.
I need to watch Jaws here pretty soon because that's my favorite movie, and I usually watch it around the 4th of July. So I'm late. I'm late on watching Jaws, but I'm going to have to tune in pretty soon because of course I did a watch along, with you guys. So. but that was with the sound down, so I need to watch it, and because that's my favorite. That's my favorite movie. And I got it hanging up on the wall here. The little banner I got from Temu, got it pinned up on the wall. The canvas poster I got of Jaws. So okay, Kathy, let's talk some music, and because you weren't able to join me the other day, so
No, I was. You don't have a YouTube account. I do. I have a YouTube channel now. It's Kathy Bradshaw. And there's several Kathys on there, but if you scroll across the Kathy Bradshaw line, you'll see me. I do. Oh, shoot. Boogers. I've got this I've got, just a minute and I'll get going. I got this phone on a not too sturdy phone stand. I don't really care that much about, but anyway, I got this 70s album. See, it's their CDs. I like CDs. I got me a little jam box. Okay, and there's 4 discs, 80 tracks. But I was listening to the last one today, and I'm like, I remember 1 or 2 of these on here, and there's 20 tracks on each one, but some of these but then again, Jay, you like the Talking Heads, don't you?
Oh yeah, I love the Talking Heads.
Okay, Psycho Killer's on here. And you like them too, Jay?
Oh,
and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not really familiar with that, but I like it. I knew April liked the Talking Heads as well.
I'm
Talking
so
Heads.
Nervous, I can't relax. Can't sleep because my bed's on fire.
Yeah, that's.
Go killer, kiss, say. Fa, 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 fa.
And then on here is ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, Mr. Radio.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Maria Mudar, Midnight at the Oasis.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Aquarium Dream sings Fantasy. Now listen, I did a lot of music listening back in the 70s. I don't remember that. But anyway. Brooke Benton sings It's a Rainy Night in Georgia. And he's got that deep voice, y'all, and it's really good. Sills and Crofts, Summer Breeze makes me feel fine. Sorry, there's plastic in the middle. I can't pull it out because the way it's made, and there's plastic covering it. So I have to look around the plastic. Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. Now listen, I wasn't into disco. Now I did like a lot of the music, but I didn't do the choreographed disco dances. We were parked out in a big old field with a couple of kegs, a bonfire, and sitting on the back of pickups. Okay. And then we get up and do our dancing.
I bet Jake could agree with this.
Retro times. Heavy metal movie soundtrack was awesome.
I don't know if Jake remembers the heavy metal soundtrack, but I had that on vinyl. I may still have it. But take a ride with heavy metal. But yeah, I love the heavy metal soundtrack. Maybe I was thinking of something else when I was referring to Jake. Maybe I was thinking of something else that he would remember. But,
Sister Sledge, he's the greatest dancer. Commodore's Easy, because I'm easy like Sunday morning. Now listen, I was into rhythm and blues, some country, Rolling Stones, things like that back in the day. Let's talk Van Morrison. Moondance. I like Van Morrison. Foreigner. Hot Blooded. Chicken and
Hot-blooded chicken stew. Got a fever of 103.
Ricky Lee Jones. Chucky's in love.
And I forgot to show that album because that was one of the vinyls that I had. I think on our second music show that was on my stack.
Yeah.
I've got, but anyway, I have that album. Yeah.
England, Ian, yeah, I think that's right. England, Dan, and John Ford Copley. I'd really love to see you tonight.
Great song.
Isn't it sweet? I love that song. It's like trying to look through plastic Mickey Mouse ears to read this stuff, some of it. But hey, that's cool. Dave Edmonds brings it home with I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. Orlean sings Dance with Me. I love that, don't you, Jay?
Yes.
I want to be your partner. Can't you see? Y'all want somebody else to talk or you want me to keep going?
I'll keep going.
Let's rock it. Rocking me, babe. Diana Ross. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough either. Cardi Stanton. Young Hearts Run Free. Ooh, Shaka Khan. I'm every woman. I don't sing, I'm sorry, y'all. But I like that song. Aretha Franklin. Until you come back to me, that's what I'm gonna do. Frankie Valli and Four Seasons, December 1963. Oh, what a night. Late December back in 63. Ooh, hot chocolate. You sexy thing.
Great tunes.
Yeah. Chic, CHIC, I think that's Chic. La Freak.
Africa.
Yeah. The Jackson 5, I Want You Back. Now listen, I liked all the Jackson 5s when they was a little band together, and I loved all of Michael's music. But back in them days, a lot of my music was like the Doobie Brothers, Long Train Running.
Taking it to the streets.
There you go. Benny King, Supernatural Thing, George Benson, Breezin', Barry White, Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe. Now, Barry White, I don't know anybody had a voice like his. Spinners and Dionne Warwick sang Then Came You. Marshall Hahn, Hain, Dancing in the City. Goody Goody sings It Looks Like Love. And then I got one more with some on them that I know y'all might have heard. Now the 1, 2, and 3 discs are excellent. The 4th disc, somebody's scraping bottom of a barrel somewhere. They come up with 2 out of 20 that I liked. But ABBA, Waterloo.
Good song.
Fleetwood Mac, Go Your Own Way. Steelers Wheel, Stuck in the Middle with You. I love that song. Chicago, If You Leave Me Now. Rod Stewart, Maggie May. I lived it. I really did. Van Morrison. Into Mystic. The Doobie Brothers. Listen to the music. The Cars. Just What I Needed. Ramones. Okay. Blitzkrieg Bop.
Ooh.
Did I say that right? And then when I got out of high school, our theme song was Alice Cooper's School's Out.
School's out for summer.
Okay.
I didn't meet him, but I saw him. He was at the one you went with.
2009. I seen him.
Alice Cooper, yeah. I didn't. I should have got his autograph because that would have been really cool to meet him. But I went. He was giving a Q&A thing, and I went and sat and listened to his Q&A. You know, so.
This first one though is pretty much my jam. I mean, all of it. Faces, Ooh La La, Gary Rafferty, Baker Street, The Hollies, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. That's a good one. Foreigner, Cold as Ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love. ZZ Top, Tush.
I'm just looking for some food.
Pretenders, Brass in Pocket. James Taylor, I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
That's another one that I forgot. That was on my stack, and I forgot to bring up the Pretenders. But I love the Pretenders.
I do too. I do too. Now that we can agree on.
Chrissy Hine, who was the sexiest thing in the world back in the day. Oh my God! I mean, I wouldn't have kicked her out of bed for eating crackers, Chrissy Hine. I tell you. You know.
Yeah, that sultry voice too.
Oh my God! And she could play guitar real good.
Oh yeah, and I like though when she'd harmonize with everybody. Let's see.
But sorry to interrupt you, but Chrissy Hine was my girl back in the day, back in like late 70s, early 80s or whatever. Oh my God, Chrissy Hine. Yeah.
Okay, there's another group that I listen to quite a bit of, Bread. I wanna make it with you. Bad Company was my jam big time. Feel like making love. And then Joe Walsh, Life's Been Good.
Life's been good to
Me so far. I love that. No, I love that music. Da 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 da. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Let's see.
Go to party sometimes until 4. It's tough to leave when you can't find the door. Yeah, the door slammed.
Let's see. Something to the left, something to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you.
Stuck in the middle with you.
I want to know who sings that song. I know it had to be in the late 70s because Rocky and I used to listen to it a lot.
Steelers Wheel.
Huh?
Steelers Wheel. Steelers Wheel.
Yeah. And I remember what's in it. Hey, you get off of my cloud. Who's that, Jay?
Oh my God!
Is that the Rolling Stones?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Hang on. It might be, Jay. But
I love that song. Hang on just a minute. Go ahead and talk, and
then also there's another one that comes to mind that I can't bring out. But a passage from it is, "Oak tree, get out of my way." You know that song, right, Jay?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Well, now Jake is right. It is the Rolling Stones. Hey, you get off of my cloud. Is the Rolling Stones. Hey, you get off of my cloud.
Well, I knew it was somebody.
Get off of my cloud. Yeah.
Listen, if somebody doesn't have a YouTube account, can't they still watch YouTube?
I think, yeah. Okay, I think you should be able to.
Just plug it in, huh? Or somebody send you a link. Just click on it. Melissa said they don't have a YouTube account. I don't think you have to. No, you can just. I'll send that. She's wanting to know about. I got a new channel. She's wanting to know about my channel. Oh. So, and I want everybody to join my channel.
Well, just send her one of your videos, a link to on your video.
I will. I only have one on there right now.
She can just join it from there.
Yeah, I'll tell her you don't have to have an account. Just click on this link, girlfriend, and that'll take you over. I've got like an 18-minute video on it.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, it's fun. I just talk because I know how to. I do that a lot.
Speaking of that, Jake, on your channel, do you have any recent interviews?
No, I'm trying to get people.
Is there anybody in particular that you're kind of looking at and talking to?
Joseph Zito.
Mhm.
I have a contact with him. It's his wife, and I emailed her on the 14th, and I haven't heard back yet. But
That would be a cool get to get him.
oh yeah,
You never know, you know. would-
And Retro Time says about to go see REO Speedwagon in a couple of weeks. Kathy, you're talking about Leonard Skinner.
Ooh, that
Ooh, that
smell.
smell.
Thank you. Can't you smell that smell? Ooh, that smell.
Yeah. And REO
Air around.
Speedwagon,
Yes, I love that. Thank you.
they're
Oh,
still hanging out, huh? REO Speedwagon, goodness.
yeah, they are. Yeah, they're rocking it old school, and they still sound excellent. The whole band, musicians and the singer. I want to go see REO Speed. I can't handle the heat, y'all. Unless it's in a stadium with air conditioning up in there. Now I can't hang. I wish I could, but I just can't. I can't no more. I don't even get invited to pool parties anymore because I can't hang. Now think I won't go get a bathing suit and get in the water. I like them swim pools.
Well, like I say, I've got to do the hotel again because they were swimming in that pool and they had it's not hot. It wasn't a hot tub, but they've got a whirlpool tub.
Yeah.
And I sat in that, and where they had the whirlpool, I put my feet on it and it massaged my feet, and it was like that. That felt luxurious, massaging my feet with this whirlpool thing. So, but yeah. I like to say I'll have to do that again, do the hotel again.
Leonard Skinner. I can't. I feel sad. I didn't think on that. I didn't think on it. I like Leonard Skinner. I used to listen to Foghat, Grand Funk Railroad, Leonard Skinner, of course, ZZ Top, and then I got really heavy into Led Zeppelin there for a while. Still got me some Led Zeppelin CDs.
Oh yeah, well that's me. That was my jam there for several years. Led Zeppelin. And
I got some Pink Floyd, but I wasn't into them as much as you are.
Several vinyl of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But Leonard Skinner, of course, the classic is Freebird. And Jake will remember the ending to The Devil's Rejects.
I watched it.
Freebird. And it's playing as the Firefly clan gets shot down. And they should have stayed dead. They shouldn't have been free from hell, which is just terrible.
I agree.
Yeah. But anyway, the ending to The Devil's Rejects is, I love The Devil's Rejects. And the ending of that is pretty much the whole song, Freebird, by Leonard Skinner. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I got my 50 pounds of pool filter sand delivered to go out my little, it's like a 4 foot by 4 foot space on my front porch. People plant plants in them. I'm not doing that. I'm going to fill it up with sand and set big old rocks in there.
Ooh.
And I got some rocks that are really cool, pretty decent size. I don't say huge. Big's, kind of like this, right? But I had got these transfers that people use before they put pottery in a kiln and cook them. I got these transfers. And I think it'd be fun to take a couple of them transfers because a lot of these rocks are flat. And see if they won't put a transfer on it. And then, I got some stuff you put on top of it to see if it won't stay and stick out my rock garden. It'll be I've got a plant place out here, a real nice 3-tier planter holder, whatever you call it, on my front porch, but I don't have plants. Just a handful. Most of my plants I had to bring in the house because the sun It wasn't the sun because it only gets late afternoon sun, but the heat was killing them. I said, and I got one aloe vera is trying to kill aloe vera. I said, wait, you belong in the desert. Please don't die out here in this Texas heat on me. My daughter gave me a starter, y'all. It's all yellow looking in one area. It looks sad. It looks bad, y'all. It's like, here's a cactus. Water it once every 4 months. And I do great. Here's some aloe vera, Mom. Don't water it too often. I don't. But what happened was it accidentally got set on the edge of my carport during a rainstorm. And it probably has some root rot from getting too much water. It drains out, but you know how it is. I'm not real bad with
many CDs over here, and I don't know of all the CDs to be over here, and I haven't heard this damn album in like 10 years probably. And I think I can show this. I don't think it's too graphic because I mean it's just the cover of the album. So but anyway, it's old Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah, April used to listen to a lot of Marilyn Manson, and I like some of his music.
Mechanical Animals, and there he is, and that I don't know whether he's supposed to be some kind of alien hybrid or something.
I really like his voice, so I do.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson. So, and and then the last few years, they don't really talk much about Marilyn Manson anymore because he's been accused of like sexual abuse or something like that. I'm like, really? You're accusing Marilyn Manson of sexual abuse? That's a shock to you?
Well, he is a different character now.
That Marilyn Manson is
let's do a quick rest in peace. I would like to send a rest in peace to our favorite workout man. Come on, Jay. We grew up with him. He's got fuzzy hair.
Oh my God.
Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons, he passed away?
He passed on. Yeah, he passed on.
I didn't know.
It's the last couple of days or so. Yeah, he did. And Richard Simmons, remember that comedy show that they did where they do sketches and it's all improv? And, they don't tell you what you're going to do till you get there, and then they do improv. They're going to tell you, okay. So there's these two famous comedians. I can't call their names if I had to. And Richard Simmons is on this show. And they said, okay, you're on a vacation with your wife, and y'all pretend like, and Richard Simmons says, I'll play the props. Yeah. And he was very outwardly a gay man, Jake. But he did these dancing to the oldies videos, and he'd have a whole bunch of people out there that need to lose weight, and they do the dancing to the oldies, and drop a lot of weight. And so his attitude was just have fun, get out and move and groove. And that was what he built his life on. And he did. He lost a lot of weight. I thought he was just as cute as he could be. But he did. He passed on, and I hated that. Well, we all got to go sometime, but I like to give props to folks that have just gone, Yeah. Rest in peace, Richard.
Well, that's the first time hearing about that. You still here?
Yeah, I had to step away, but I'll be right back.
Oh, and speaking of passing away, Shelley Duvall
She sure did.
passed away, and of course, The Shining. Um, and what was that? She had a children's show that she did, and what that? What was the name of that?
Fairy Tale Theater.
Fairy Tale Theater. Thank you, Jake. Yeah.
Aw, I didn't know about that. I knew about Olive Oil.
Yeah, there's a bunch of famous people that were in episodes of Fairy Tale Theater, and it was really not. It was really good. And there's different episodes, we should tell fairy tales and stuff. Uh, yeah. Shelley Duvall. And if there was anyone that was born to play a role, it was Shelley Duvall as Olive Oil.
Yeah.
There's not another person on the planet that could have played Olive Oil except for
No.
you see her in that role and you just think, God, that's why she was put on this planet, is to play Olive Oil.
It's true.
But yeah, and she throughout her life was dealing with some emotional issues, some mental issues, depression, that kind of thing, and in The Shining, Stanley Kubrick just pretty much abused the poor woman in making the movie. Had her pulling her hair out, and it's just drove her half crazy making The Shining. But yeah, sad to hear Shelley Duvall passed away. So.
Also, Shannon Doherty passed away as well.
Yeah, Shannon Doherty. I loved her on The Craft. Not The Craft. Remember that show where she had two other sisters?
Charmed.
I love Charmed. I watched a lot of them. I just can't remember. I can't remember the show. Look, I found it, y'all. Here's my Party Off the Pounds, Richard Simmons DVD. And working out doesn't have to be work. It can be a party. Party Off the Pounds. Now, new and pumped up versions of the 80s hits. I Want to Dance with Somebody. Let's hear it for the boy. True Colors. Like a Virgin. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine.
You're so fine. You blow my mind.
Thank you. If I could turn back time, which I'm glad I wish I could sing. I can't. I'm sorry. Shake it up. New attitude. And then to cool down, you dance to Lean on Me. So anyway.
He had Sweating to the Oldies. Was his.
That's it right there.
Sweating to the Oldies.
Right there.
Yeah.
And he had several of these out. But I go to a store, y'all, that's near me. And this Time Life put this one out, this DVD. And it runs for 50 minutes. And when I go to this store, it's a Mod Podge, Jake, of different DVDs that people have donated.
Oh, cool.
And they're a quarter a piece. So I go through, and that's where I found a couple of those horror ones. The one with Meatloaf I was talking about and the rabbits. So what I do is I pop them out. I mean, you can open them, right? And I make sure that they're clean. Because if they're not clean and they're all scratched up, I don't want them.
Well, I'll tell you something about Richard Simmons, and I actually kind of want to see it simply because who's playing Richard Simmons, and that was old Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
He'd make a good Richard Simmons, wouldn't he?
But Pauly Shore played Richard Simmons in a recent movie, and I think this has already been released. I don't know if it's anywhere you can watch it streaming or not, but I'd like to see it. But Richard Simmons didn't like the idea of Pauly Shore playing him.
He didn't? No. He didn't want to be made fun of, y'all, because he was quite
heavy. My understanding is he doesn't really make fun of him. He in fact, they interviewed Pauly Shore, who was just this big cut up back in the day, Pauly Shore,
Yeah.
The Weasel. But he was interviewed about it, about what Richard Simmons had said about him playing the role. And he says he really wanted to be respectful to him, that he was trying to treat him with respect, and and I've seen clips of it, and he kind of looks like him, he kind of sounds like him. But I want to see it just to see Pauly Shore play Richard Simmons. you know.
I got something. Y'all should never have me on because I always got something. Y'all know I do.
Oh, we need to fill the time up.
So Netflix and Paisley Park had gone into a meeting, and they had agreed about a movie, biography series on Prince, right? About his life and his musical talents, and it's just basically his life. Okay. Well, Paisley Park agreed to 6 hours, yeah, of this filming, right? Well, the writer and director that's working on it come back and told him, I can't do it in less than 9. I've got to have that extra 3 hours. And he said, listen, Prince would not have put something out subpar, and I can't do it. Paisley Park's holding firm. Nope. His family saying, you agreed that you would just do 6 hours, and that's all we're going to give you. And the guy goes, listen, of all the rehearsals and all the perfection that Prince did in his own shows, I can't put it out in less than 9 hours. Right now, they're at a deadlock. So I hope it comes to fruition, but I don't know. And I understand the guy's why he's feeling the way he's feeling,
You wouldn't think they would make such a big deal over 3 hours that they'd just go ahead and give him the 3 hours,
No.
This is Prince we're talking about, It's
Thank you. And he was loved all over the world by millions and millions of people, right? Yeah. And he was such a musical genius.
I definitely would like to see myself.
I would too. I would. I'd be saying, JJ, it's coming up. Leslie, you want to watch it?
I'll tell you what I've been watching, and you brought this up during our scary TV show, Evil, and it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I've been watching. I've been finishing up work. I finally think I finished what all they put out so far.
It's just 2 episodes, 2 seasons.
Yes. So far, it's just 2 seasons. Yeah, it's just 2 seasons.
I don't want to bring it back anymore.
I don't know. I wish they would bring it back,
But yeah, it's a really good show. And I back when it actually was airing on TV, I saw the first half dozen episodes, but then they pulled it, or something to another channel or something. So it's been good to catch up on.
That's what happened with Yellowstone for me. I'm sorry. I mean, I am a true Kevin Costner fan. All of his work, right? So when Lone Star first come out, when Yellowstone first come out, I was standing in line to get it up on my TV. And it went to one pay-per-view. We'd already had that streaming, and I watched the first season, and about halfway through the second season, they moved it to another streaming that I didn't have and I couldn't get.
Well,
it was like $50 or $80, some ungodly amount of dollars to subscribe to that other streaming service. And I'm like, I like y'all, but I can't.
And I watched. There was something on News Report or something like that. Kevin Costner said that he's not coming back. He's working on the movie series. It's I think the first movie. I forget what it's called. What's the movie? I want to see it.
It's another Western.
It's a Western, which I really want to see. Yeah. I love Westerns.
Yeah, me too.
So I forget what it's called, but anyway, yeah, he said that he's concentrating on that, making the sequels to that or whatever.
Yeah,
he wasn't going to be coming back to Yellowstone. So, and I'd heard about different people, maybe like one being Matthew McConaughey.
Right, I'd heard that too, but I think Matthew's doing a different Western. That's what I heard.
I could really see him on Yellowstone, Matthew McConaughey.
That's what I heard. I don't know for sure.
But
Yeah, I'm always, my mind jumps from here to here to here to here to here to here constantly. If I'm awake, I'm thinking about 50 to 100 different things. All the tabs start popping up, pop. And that's when I thought, well, hey, since since I woke up in the middle of the night the other night wondering why dinosaurs didn't have ghosts, why we don't see ghosts of dinosaurs. They were so big, right? And then I saw a meme that said the same thing. And I'm thinking, who's in my brain? Get out. Come on. Get out of my brain, And so it's really not noteworthy of the things that I've talked about today. That my porch, I did a porch vlog this morning, and it's not noteworthy, but I drop a little knowledge every now and then that somebody might like, and I just have fun. I just do. I told today that I like me, and because I'm cute, and I like me because I just do. And I'm thinking they're gonna say, "Look at that woman, she about crazy." So I figured if I get bots, well, hey, hi bots. But I was talking about this makeup place this morning. And when I was raising my kids, I did good to buy a little CoverGirl, and I worked corporate, so I had to dress up, right? Business professional, and I had to wear makeup. You go without makeup, and they want to send you home thinking you're sick. You're sick. No, I just hadn't put my makeup on yet, So I was thinking today, yesterday, I actually went into a Sephora, which is a very high-end Dylan mascara from Rihanna was like $52. Just one tube of mascara. But Sephora has their own line, and it's more reasonable. I needed some face covering stuff, and I got $20 for the compact I wanted. So I thought, well, that's, when you're used to paying $5, $6, $8 or something, that's kind of high, right? But no, I deserve it. And then I wanted this lip tint. I think it was $28, something like that. But I just went ahead. I said, I'm going to do it because I'm worth it, right? Plus, I'm not buying from Temu, and I'm not. I don't go nowhere except for the grocery store. I don't hardly ever go to the grocery store. I have Walmart Plus. They bring it to my front door. But I do a little shopping. So I went to this shopping strip area after I got my hair cut yesterday. And I just had fun meandering around and going in different stores and stuff like that, And I got my chain. And I paid a little more for it than I normally would, but I hope it'll last me for quite a while. So you just sometimes, like your camera, if you want it bad enough, you just got to go ahead and say, I got it.
Still have not turned on that camera. It's still in the box.
Yeah, but you got it.
And I still have a TV over here in the box. I've got a new camera and a new TV that are still in the box, and I've had them for like a month or a month and a half.
Well, you got learning curve on both of them, so.
But I sent. Hang on, I'm being dinged. Let me see who's dinging me.
Yeah, you don't have to have a YouTube channel to listen to join in and chat with us. You just go in where it's live streaming on like Jay's channel right now, and you click on, you drop it down, and instead of talk chat, it'll drop down. You click live chat, and you'll be in here where he can see your conversations. But you don't have to have a YouTube channel. I just happen to have one. Several years ago, I'd make little stories for my grandkids and put them on YouTube. Because that's the easiest way to read a book to them when you live a few hundred miles away. But anyway, what are you drinking, Jake? What are you drinking?
Oh, Diet Pepsi. Yes.
Ooh, I love Diet Pepsi. My son-in-law drank Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew. I can't stand that stinky stuff. And I can't stand Big Red. And if y'all like it, good.
Well, now speaking of Big Red, the Loves invited me over a few days ago for chili dogs, and they had a friend of theirs that drives a motorcycle come and visited too, and we ate chili dogs, but they make homemade Big Red ice cream. And even if you don't like Big Red, I think you would like this ice cream. It's I'm not crazy about Big Red either, but I love this ice cream. And they make it, an old fashioned, ice cream maker, and freeze it up and then serve it up home.
Did they crank? Did they do the crank or the plug-in?
It's electric,
Yeah.
We throw, rock salt and ice.
Yeah, I know. I had an electric one many moons ago.
Big Red ice cream. Man, that's good stuff. So.
I don't know. I tried. Melissa and Tim making it. I tried, but I don't know. I've never been able to get past that. I've tried 3 sips of Big Red in my life, and I broke up with both of them. I didn't like Nero.
I don't much care for Big Red either. I'll drink it, but I don't much care for it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna drink it. Give me some water. Well, we got some lake water down there. That's all right. Give me a cup. I'll go get me some. It's almost that bad. To me. That's just me. Of course, I don't like a lot of stuff, but get back to Diet Pepsi. Now, Diet Pepsi reminded me of the old RC Cola. You remember RC Cola, Jake? Were you ever able to get a hold of that?
Yes, I was, Kathy.
That's what Pepsi reminds me of. Because I can drink, usually 20-ounce soda water would last me about 3 days. I'll drink, this amount, screw the lid on good, put it in the refrigerator, drink some more. But Diet Pepsi, every now and then, I don't keep them. Listen, I don't keep ice cream in my freezer. I don't keep Diet Dr. Pepper in my house. You know why? Because I buy vanilla ice cream and I'll make me some Diet Dr. Pepper floats. And I couldn't fit through that door right there if I kept either of them in the house. So every so many months, especially in the wintertime, Jake, I will buy both of them. And I'm like, oh, my sugar's good after dinner. Oh, I better go ahead and make me a float. I like them floats. So now you can take son-in-law Diet Pepsi. So I was in there at their house before I moved out. I lived with them all. And I said, Darren, can I have one of your Diet Pepsi? Oh, that's good, Jay. Is it Neapolitan?
Yeah, I got it today at Walmart. Yeah.
See, I like strawberry ice cream, but I like Bluebells because they put real strawberry pieces in it.
Oh, cool.
It's a Texas creamery, and now they may have creameries other places, but I know it's here in Texas. And in 2019, we were taking the 2 grandkids and staying at an Airbnb at Galveston, Texas, on the coast, because they'd never been to the ocean. So we're a few hundred miles inland. So we made the trip, my daughter, son-in-law. In fact, we took 2 vehicles, and so we could all fit, and the 2 kids, and we stayed at Airbnb for, I think we stayed 3 or 4 days. But anyway, it was cool. We were real close to the ocean. Not right on the water, but you'd have to cross a street and go down a little bit, and there's the water. So you could hear it. If you opened your window at night, you could hear it. Anyway, so that's the first time that we'd all thrown in and got some groceries. It was funny. We went to the coast and went to Walmart and bought groceries for them. But that's just cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And I had got a $60 Visa card, and I said, come on, y'all, let's go spit. Come on, April, I want fruit and sandwich making, and we got those Diet Pepsis. And then I said, well, since we're getting Pepsis, let's get some ice cream. I didn't have to coax them grandkids to try them floats. When Nana's pouring Daddy's Cokes, or daddy sodas in our floats. I said, here, I'm making me one. Y'all both take a sip. They were quite smaller than they are now. See what you think. Oh, I won't. And my granddaughter said, can you spill some of that in my ice cream too? So we borrowed one of daddy's sodas. It was funny. So what do you call them, Jake? Do you call them pops? Do you call them soda water, sodas?
Pop or soda, or soda pop. Just depends.
Yeah. A lot of people in Texas, when you say you want, we call it sodas, most of us do. Do you want a soda from the store? Yeah. And they automatically think Coke. And I'm thinking, be careful what you say. Yeah, they'll just bring you back a Coke. And if you don't say what kind you want, you'll get a Coke.
That was kind of the generic term for sodas was Coke. If you were drinking Dr. Pepper or Pepsi or RC or whatever, you're drinking a Coke.
You better speak up though. If somebody go get you something to drink.
They wasn't from this area. They're like, well, if you say you're going to have a Coke, then you're going to have a Coke. And if you're saying you're having a Coke and you're drinking an RC, you said, well, you said you were having a Coke. Well, that's just what we call having a soda, having a Coke.
Okay.
But let me ask you something, Jake, and if you don't want to get into this, that's all right. But you made a post a few days ago basically about people acting like jerks.
Oh, yeah.
And tell me, what was your personal experience, if you don't mind saying so, of people acting like jerks?
No problem. It may sound kind of silly, but I was at Walmart shopping, and I saw this guy with a Jason shirt on, right? And then he also had shorts. I go, hey, great shirt. And he just looked at me like, I go, Jason. He goes, yeah. And then just, like walks off. And it's nothing major, but like, just what an asshole. Just complimenting your shirt. And I figured he's a horror guy, right? But, he just looked at me really weird, like,
very unfriendly.
Yes. Like, what the hell?
And then I had just the opposite happen to me. Remember what I told you about that girl I ran into yesterday that had a machete and crossed over
the Evil Dead tattoo.
Yeah, and crossed over with a chainsaw. And I said, and I looked at it, and I wasn't going to say nothing, Jake, because she, bless her heart, she was in Kohl's, and that's an expensive store for me to go in. Take me to Walmart, see if they got sale on dresses or something. You know what I mean? I don't go in there and shop for clothes. I did get me a real cool T-shirt that was on sale for $12 in the men department. But I had to ask her. I had to ask her. Because when I saw the chainsaw, it's very visibly a chainsaw. I said, and there was 5 of us in line, and she was 2 down from checking out, and I was right behind her, right? And so I had to say something. I said, I like your tattoo. May I ask you about it? And she could have just said no. You don't never know how people are going to be, And I didn't try to get no long conversation with the woman. I just thought, well, let me ask.
Well, I'll tell you something, but that was I guess, a nice little moment. This happened a few months ago. This was like 2 or 3 months ago. And I like to walk. I do a lot of walking. So I was walking down to the lake, to the circle. I think it's before I met Melissa and Tim. So I was just going down to the circle and back. So I'm walking, and this guy in a pickup pulls up beside me and stops and rolls his window down. And he said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Yes. I just wanted to tell you that God loves you." And I said, "Well, thank you, sir." And he said, "Okay." He rolled his window up and drove off. And that was it, and I thought, well, that was sweet, and that's all he said. I didn't know him from Adam. I have no idea who it was. But he just pulled up beside me and said, "Excuse me," and real nice. "Excuse me, sir. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that God loves you." I said, well, thank you.
Well, when I asked that lady about her tattoos, and she was young, I think she's probably about Jake's age, and she said, she said, my dad has a Jason mask on his front. And I said, "Oh, cool." And she said, "Yeah, it's big." And her dad walked up behind her, and he looked like a biker. I mean, he was nice looking man, probably about my age. And I just kind of grinned at him. I said, Jason, hon. He said, hardcore. That's all he said. And I didn't say no more either. But she said, yeah, Evil Dead's my jam. Like that. And she and I both just, it was a nice experience. You don't never know about people, though, Jake.
You have any ink, Jake?
Yeah, I have two, but this one, well, you can. Hold on. It's a night, but it's kind of hard to.
Oh, cool.
No, but you can make it out. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's really good work. When did you have that done?
When I was 18. So.
Huh. But
yeah.
Really cool.
A few years ago.
There's if it was up to me, my daughter's got a bunch of gorgeous ink, Jake, but she spent some high dollar on it too, right? Oh. So if it was up to me, I would have a sleeve, right?
Oh yeah.
All down one side. So far, Jay's got Betty Boop.
Oh, cool.
But when I was living close to Jay, I don't know if it'll show up.
Ooh.
Okay, you see that?
Yeah.
It says JCR in script. It's my dad.
It's my daddy's signature.
It's my dad's actual handwriting on my arm.
Oh,
cool. And I worked with him so many years, and we would just spend hours sometimes at the little store just visiting, right? And the top of the J is not completely closed. And so when my daughter and I went to Colorado on a girls' vacation, girls' trip, we hadn't gone very many, but we went on that one that year. I carried a receipt that Jay had given me that Daddy had put his initials on, right? And I carried it. I mean, she went and got something. She likes to get a tattoo on all trips. She likes to get a tattoo, right? So we go in there, and I said, and I slid the piece of paper, and I pointed to where Dad wrote his JCR, right? I said, I want that. He said, where do you want it? I said, right here on my arm. He said, well, do you want it facing out? And I said, why? I want it facing in so I can look at it and remind me of all the times that my dad and I were together, and all the times that we worked together when I was a teenager, and all the times that he told me, oh, hell no. Now listen to me. So I said, no. He was very loving, but he was not a pushover. You know what I mean? Us or anybody else. And so he said, well, the top is a very faint. I mean, you can see where there's a line. It's very faint. Do you want me to fill that in? Nope. I want it exactly like Daddy wrote it. I don't know. Back in the 60s is when he wrote this receipt. So, yeah. Thank you, Jay, for my papers.
Yeah, I found like some old. I don't know if they were canceled checks or whatever. There was something that had his signature on it. Several things that had a signature.
Yeah.
Out there at the store building, just boxes of old receipts and stuff like that. And that's cool. I actually would like to do something just like that. Get his signature somewhere.
Yeah, I like that it's his initials.
And I remember the very first thing you got. It was a heart, wasn't it? Right around here.
Lord, it's a little tiny rose right here.
It's a rose. Okay, yeah.
Not that big ugly thing I wish I could afford to cover up, but it's a little tiny rose.
Yeah.
A little red rose. And my daughter's 40 now, and she was 9 when I took her, Jake, to a Harley convention. Ooh. In this convention center, they had a bunch of tattoo artists, And I said, I just want something real small. He said, where you want it? I said, up here. He says, go and get lost. He was trying to up me, Don't you want one bigger? And I'm like, no, because that was my first tattoo. And I just wanted something, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I remember I was in Waco, and Daddy had just passed away. And so we were really kind of grieving over that, Daddy passing away. And it was me and you and April in Waco. And I remember this so clearly. And we were walking downtown, walking along downtown Waco, just hanging out, just nowhere and
Yeah.
no destination in mind, just hanging out. And we walked up to this, I think it's called Dream Connection Tattoo Parlor.
Yeah.
And April says, let's get Uncle Jay a tattoo. And I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah, and how much money you got, Uncle Jay? And I had like $20, and then she had like $20, $30, and you had some money.
Yeah, I had about 40 still.
Let's get Daddy, get Uncle Jay a tattoo. And then they said, well, all right. They said, what do you get? I said, if I was going to get a tattoo, I'd get Betty Boop, because
There you go.
I had this huge crush on Betty Boop as a kid. So we walked into, and I've got the sticker on the door in front of the store building, and I love my tattoo, and Dream Connection. And, but anyway, we walk in there, and I asked the man, you got Betty Boop? He said, oh, yeah, I got a lot of Betty Boop, And so he showed me, this little, folder, and it had, plastic covered sheets, that has their different tattoos.
They're flashed.
And I picked out, I picked up, her, picked up that one.
Used to this
But anyway, so I'm going to sit down there to get the tattoo, and I've never had such a thing done. And I thought, well, how is this going to hurt? Because you'd already had your rose.
Yeah, my little rose, and April. April was she and I went on her 18th birthday and got matching little ladybugs on her right above her ankles.
I remember you telling me, you says, actually, Jay, it won't hurt you as much as it hurt me, because I've had mine on your chest. You're having yours on your arm, and it doesn't hurt as much. They said it'll burn a little bit, and you'll have a little scab, and you want to
clean it and doctor it, until it heals.
I think it's like Vaseline or something. Put a little pad on it.
There's a little more involved. You got to be sure and get some antibacterial, something to clean, soap to clean it with.
Anyway, so I'm sitting down there, and April, April's sitting next to me. You might have been sitting next to me too on the other side. But there's a girl right across from me, a little teenager. She could have been more than like 18 or something. And man, she was cute. She was cute. But she sat down there, and she wanted something just right above her belly button. And the tattoo guy goes, ooh. He said, it's going to burn. I tell you, it's going to burn. And she goes, oh, no, I want it. And she was there, I think, with her boyfriend, So as I'm getting Betty Boop put on my arm, I'm watching this girl get whatever I forgot what it was above her belly, but it's right above her belly.
Yeah, that's a sensitive place, Jack. Anywhere in your belly?
But the tattoo guy goes, oh, he said, well, that's going to burn. He said, I'm telling you, that's going to be sensitive. He said, yeah, I want it, So, but yeah, that was quite a day, getting my tattoo. That was the last thing in the world I thought I was going to do that day, to get a tattoo.
Let's get Uncle Jay a tattoo.
Let's get Uncle Jay a tattoo. I said, well, okay, Because we were, mourning Daddy passing away, and just
we went out to eat. I keep thinking we went out to that Italian restaurant I like downtown Waco and ate.
But we probably did. But
and then we're walking down, and April goes, "Oh, Dream Connection is just right down the street here." I said, "Let's go down." She said, "Yeah, let's throw our money together and get Uncle Jay a tattoo." I said, "Okay."
What the hell, But
then his friends started giving him Betty Boop stuff.
I got T-shirts, and you remember we used to go to just about shortly after that. We used to go to the auction there in Mahale. That auction.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of shit at that auction place, and
I did too.
A big like Betty Boop poster there and things like that. But yeah, I missed that auction place. That was so cool. That auction.
Yeah.
We bought a bunch of shit. I've got a bookshelf here I bought there at that auction. But people started giving me T-shirts, Betty Boop T-shirts. When I opened up the bookstore, they'd bring me Betty Boop stuff, Betty Boop T-shirts and stuff. But they knew I was the Betty Boop guy, so. But yeah. Well,
Did dinosaurs have belly buttons?
ma'am,
Did dinosaurs have belly buttons?
I would imagine dinosaurs had navels. Most mammals had navels or have navels. And I would imagine even as old as they are, they probably had navels.
Yeah, but there was dinosaur eggs. They laid eggs that hatched out little baby dinosaurs. But I don't think they suckled them, did they?
That's a good question. Now that's actually a good question. Did dinosaurs have navels? Maybe not, because like I say, if they hatched from eggs, then maybe they didn't have navels.
Yep.
Now that's a good question. Speaking of suckling and lactating and mothers giving milk to their child,
Not lately.
no, but that's obviously why a woman has nipples, is to feed their baby.
Really?
Yeah, but why do men have nipples?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Why do we have nipples?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Well, there's no purpose for a man's nipple because a woman's nipple is giving milk.
Well, yeah.
But why do we have them?
I don't know.
So we can compete with women. I've got some
There you go.
myself, I'll say.
Listen, a man with cute nipples, and some men have 3 nipples, but a man with good-looking nipples, that can be sexy.
Exactly. There you go.
So maybe it's a sexual attraction thing.
Speaking of belly buttons, though, I had this joke from Sleepaway Camp 2, but where do they store extra belly buttons?
Where?
In the Naval Reserve. It's kind of corny, cheesy, but
It's cute in the Naval Reserve.
Naval Reserve.
Yeah, I like that. I like it. Mm-hmm.
But the only dirty joke I tell is
Minnie Mouse.
why did Mickey Mouse divorce Minnie Mouse? Because she's fucking goofy. Yeah. And speaking of dirty jokes, Alexa, tell me a dirty joke.
What do you get when you cross a broken ice cream truck with impressionist art? Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Broken ice cream.
Yeah. What do you get when you cross a broken ice cream truck with an impressionist art?
Okay.
Van Gogh. So,
Van Gogh.
okay, one more. Alexa, tell me one more dirty joke.
Why did the art collector buy an old septic tank? It's filled with mass turd pieces.
much better.
Oh, yeah.
And mass turd pieces. So Alexa will tell you a dirty joke. Yeah. She won't get too graphic, but she'll tell.
I was trying to ask my daughter and grandson, my daughter and son-in-law. Of course, the kids used it more than I think the adults. But my daughter likes to play music while she's taking a shower, right? So they got those little Google things you can talk to and put them, one in the bathroom and one in the kitchen. Well, the kids were littler when they did them. I don't know if they still even have them. I haven't seen them. I'm going over there Thursday. I'm going to look and ask the son-in-law, do y'all still have them? But anyway, Dorothy would get so mad. She had speech impediment, Jake, and she would talk to you, but she couldn't hardly say S's, and T's were a nightmare for a while. But she had speech therapist for about 5 years, and finally she graduated. Now you can understand everything she says and then some, like her grandmother. But anyway, she couldn't say 2. So she'd go in there and say, Google,
Oh.
play Foo Fighters. And she was trying to say two fighters, which was like a kung fu.
Yeah.
Everybody was kung fu fighting is what she wanted to hear, and she had asked for two fighters, but it would come out every time Foo Fighters. And then it started playing Foo Fighters, and she'd say, "Google, no." I mean, she'd get pissed off immediately. And I said, "Dot, you want me to say it?" "No, I can say it." And after the second time, she'd say, "Google, stop." Google would stop. And then she'd try one more time. She's a trooper, Jack. I would give up after the first time.
You know how Facebook will give you, here's memories from 5 years
Oh, yeah,
ago. And it was about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's April and Dot singing me happy birthday, and Dot's happy Earth Day, ooh you, and it's the cutest thing in the world. Happy Earth Day, ooh you.
And she was so serious. I mean, she tried.
She couldn't do the two, ooh you.
Yeah.
That's
But I felt so sorry for her. Two fighters is what she wanted, and she kept getting the Foo Fighters.
Ooh. Yeah, she do ooh. The two was ooh.
Yeah.
And she couldn't do the K, the hard sounds like K and what the C.
Yeah.
So, so call was all. So she would say, and so I found an old message she had sent me, a Facebook message. Uncle Jay, all me back.
She was just precious, Jay.
And
Now
she
she's
did this thing where she's talking to it. She got a puppet of some kind, and she goes, "Why won't Uncle Jay answer my all?" And then she did a puppet. I don't know, Doc. And it's just the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that she couldn't do the K's and she couldn't do the T's.
no, the T's would just throw her big time, And the speech therapist she had was so sweet. She had two different ones, but they both would stay with her years, and they'd come like 2 or 3 times a week, and that she'd have an hour session with them, And so I, say hello, and then I'd retreat back to my room, stay out of the way, stay quiet. And so after she'd be done with speech therapy, she'd come to my room when she was 5. I'd say, "Dot, did you have fun with Miss whoever it was?" And she'd say, "Yeah." I said, "What did you learn?" "I don't remember."
Well,
You don't remember.
there would be times where, I was up there visiting, and she would come in there, in that middle room that I slept in, and she'd come in there and she would say, "Uncle Jay," and then she would go, "I want to," and then she would just concentrate, tell you something. And it was just fighting to say the T, but she would just train. It was just like
Bless her heart.
hardest
She wanted to
thing
say
in the world.
it right,
And you would say she wouldn't quite get the T out, but you could tell what she was trying to do,
You're right.
But
Yeah.
she would just grin and just, "Uncle Jay, I want to tell you something."
Bless her heart.
But
That's how she learned, Jake.
the world.
She's fine now and just talk. You can
Well,
talk you in circles. You know what I
We
mean?
don't have any trouble now.
No.
And,
Last week, she and I were shuffling around this little CD player that I got. It's when they were around. I think it's a Magnavox, and AM/FM CD player. And I wanted it back because I knew I had these CDs coming in. So I said, "Dot, do you still have that? You've got that?" Well, I knew she still had it. I said, because she come over here to visit me, she said, "Can I take this home?" I said, "Yeah," because she's got CDs. She's music. She likes to play, right? And she's got one called Zombies. It's some group she likes. But anyway, then she's got the CD from Encanto, which I've never seen that movie. But anyway, she's got the music from that. Anyway, so she and I shuffled it back and forth. They'd come to visit one week and take it, and then a couple of 3 weeks later, I'd say, "Can I get that back and so I can play it some?" "Yeah." So I decided I just went on the website that I use for this one, and I found a Philips one for the same, about $40. So I just sent a message to her dad. I've sent something to Dot. Please let me know when it gets there. Right. Well, they'd gone to the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco, Texas, where it originated. Actually, the chemist made it up there at a pharmacy chain. Yeah, pharmacist invented it. Anyway, the next day, I could tell it's not her on the video. I've got that kids video thing where she can call me and but because so her dad's recording her, and she said, Nana, I got this big box in. And I said, well, huh? She said, Daddy said where to call you before I open it. And I said, okay. So he's got her on video. And I ordered a pink one. Well, it's light pink, almost like a champagne type pink color, right? Pink champagne. Anyway, so he starts helping her open the box. It's a decent sized box, with these right in. So you can hear Daddy on one side and she's on the other, and they're opening it, and then she opens it and she goes, oh, Nana, is it a CD player? And I said, yep. That way we don't have to shuffle this one back and forth, and Nana won't bug you she keeps them in her room. She's real good with her electronics. She's got a portable DVD player that she got not long ago. And she's real good at taking care of her electronics. So she was all excited about it, right? But I don't spend that amount of money on her and not do something for her 11-year-old brother, John. So I told Darren, I said, I'm going to do something for John. He said, okay, great. Thank you. And I said, yeah, well, I got to, Darren. I can't let her walk around. Look at my new music damn box. And brother not have nothing, right? I wouldn't do that. So John got his iPhone for his birthday when he turned 11. Very responsible kid, So he's on their network. Dot's got one of their hand-me-down iPhones that is Wi-Fi enabled, but she's not on their network, right? So they like to make sure they're more responsible before they actually say, here's a phone, Yeah. But anyway, I called John. I said, hey, John. Yes, ma'am. Hi, Nana. I said, well, hey, boo. Did you know sis just got something? Yeah, that's nice. Thank you for doing that. And I said, well, I'm not going to shuffle the other one back and forth, but here's why I'm calling your phone. I want to do something for you. Do you want Robux or V-Bucks? I hooked him up, Jake. I got him 5,000 V-Bucks. I spent like 36, 37, 38 bucks, something like that on him. Dang, Nana. So anyway, I said, I'm going to send you the code and you call me back if it didn't go through for any reason. Or call me back and let me know, or text me back and let me know it worked, So he texts me, he texts me back this, yo, it worked. I'm going to call you in a minute. And then about 10 minutes later, he called me. He said, Nana, that's a lot of V-Bucks. I said, can you use them? He said, yes, ma'am. He's had his eye on different armor, and stuff, different avatar stuff. I said, so he explained half of it to me, which I've watched him play, which I'll watch him again when I go over there. And he got a VR set for his birthday. And it's so cute. He plays his gorilla game. So he's standing across the room. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm climbing a wall. You're climbing a wall? Yeah, I'm a gorilla, Nana. I said, oh, okay. So I miss them day in, day out. Yeah, I miss not living with them. But I'm going over there to spend the day with them Thursday. So that'll work.
Nice.
Well, I guess we can kind of wind up here. We're past 9 o'clock here, so we've done 2 hours. And this has been a good one, good hangout. I've enjoyed this. Yeah, around here, we got another day in the triple digits, but then starting Thursday, there's a cold front coming in, a very, very rare.
It's supposed to rain, I think.
Supposed to rain, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like 40% chance and then 30% chance. But Sunday and Monday is like a 50-60% chance because another cold front is supposed to come.
Bring it on. It's
And
hotter in blazes of Hades and damnation.
upper 90, I mean lower 90s and upper
It's
80s,
hotter than hell.
which will be really great. So, and Jake, do you have anything that you'd like to promote? You said you were looking to get an interview. Is there anything you would like to bring up about your channel or anything?
Nothing right now, but I'm gonna try and do some more, talk about more movies when not too. But nothing.
That'd be fun. And he just dropped a very interesting interview that I watched. In fact, I think I watched it today. So check out An Eye for Horror podcast. We can find you that way, right?
Yeah, just go to Jake the Horror Movie Geek, and it's in the playlist. But,
Yeah. And I started my channel 3 days ago. When I was sick, I did all the research, and then I just pulled a bullet and started it. And I do porch patio vlogs and talk about all kinds of fun subjects. Okay, they're fun to me, but also I try to share a little knowledge when I can. And I'm going to talk about everything from how tall the ceiling is to how wide the world is. So you don't never know what I'm going to come up with, okay? And it's my name. Kathy, Kathy, last name Bradshaw, Bradsaw, with a space in the middle. And apparently you can change the name of your YouTube channel, but that's what it is now. And if you scroll over, there's a Kathy Bradshaw that's an artist. That's not me. But if you scroll over, you'll see my face.
okay.
Please join me. Please check in on me. I appreciate it too. There's my plug.
And of course, we always ask you guys, if you're watching this and you're enjoying what you're seeing, please give us a thumbs up. Click that thumbs up button. That helps us to get seen. And you would spread the word about the Being Real show if you're enjoying this. And we'd like to get some new people joining us. And
It's good to be seen.
Yeah. And get people joining the channel. And so really appreciate that. And thank you guys, and the ones that have showed up tonight. And who that's we got a new one, Nolocke, Nolocke. And of course we had Retro Times tonight. So thank you.
Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Always. And not sure exactly what our next subject, if we'll have a subject, what the next subject will be, but we'll do this again soon. And thank you, Jake, for joining us. And
good to see you, Jake.
Look up his channel, Jake the Horror Movie Geek, and Eye for Horror, and see what Jake's been doing. He has some really great interviews and some really interesting stuff. And thank you, sis.
Yeah, it's always fun.
We'll do this again soon. Thank you, everybody. And y'all have a good one.